Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ardi, and today we are watching World of Warcraft developer panels at Gamescom 2025. I'm actually kind of excited for the Midnight. We're going back to Silvermoon, which is overdue for an upgrade at last. And then Sulaman is going to become a zone, and then there's another zone, I think, in the area around Sulaman, Harandir, something. I don't remember the name. And then there's something, the Void. But what I'm most excited about is for World of Warcraft to finally have player housing. So I hope they talk about player housing in this video. So without further ado, let's watch this. It's almost 25 minutes. Let's see, I'm sorry, it's cropped. There. If there's anything else you want me to watch from Gamescom, just leave it in the comments below and I'll check it out if enough people like it. Or enough people might mention it. Or you have anything more World of Warcraft related that you want me to watch?
Please join me in welcoming Ian Hazacostas and Marie Hamilton for the World of Midnight. Give it up!
I'm actually excited.
Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. Thank you, Gamescom.
How come? He can speak German.
Thank you for coming out for this panel where we're going to talk about the world of Midnight. We're coming out for this panel where we're going to talk about the world of Midnight, the story, the zones, the culture. Herzlich willkommen. Thank you, Gamescom.
What is that?
Thank you for coming out for this panel where we're going to talk about the world of Midnight, the story,
that's
the
sword.
zones,
I like
the
that
cultures,
t-shirt.
and the places that you'll go. I'm Ian Hazacostas, game director on WoW.
Hi, I'm Maria Hamilton, Associate Design Director on WoW. I'm super happy to be here.
I really want to go to Gamescom one day. It's close to Norway,
so today we're going to talk
so
about story, cultures, delves, dungeons, and raids. So let me just kick things off with a quick recap of the stories so far.
yeah,
what brought
do
us
that,
here?
please.
So we began the World Soul Saga around a year ago and began telling the largest, most ambitious story we've ever tried to tell in World of Warcraft. It all began with whispers, visions that the champions of Azeroth were beginning to experience that ultimately led Thrall and Anduin, among others, to, a certain sword in a certain place. We investigated, we tracked those visions down, and ultimately they led us to the mysterious land of Khazalgar, where we deployed the floating city of Dalaran, and that didn't go so well.
Nope.
We were in fact ambushed by Xal'atath and her Nerubian allies, where Xal'atath wielded the Dark Heart artifact to drain the power of Dalaran,
Dalaran isn't a hub city anymore
as well, and destroying the city. Over the course of our adventures, Xal'atath thwarted us several times, but Alaria was able to ultimately perceive the power and the importance of the Dark Heart. She struck out at it, damaging it. This severely disrupted Xal'atath's plans, as well as freeing Khadgar.
Yeah, I have not done the raids in the World, so I don't know the story from there.
Save him. But that disruption led Xal'atath to seek out the aid of one Gallywix. Now, the Dark Heart is this incredibly powerful artifact, originally crafted by Neltharion with the aid of the goblins. So who better than some goblins to repair the damage? But she should have found some more trustworthy goblins. Because Gallywix, of course, had a plan of his own. And the Dark Heart ended up falling into the hands of Shadowguard Ethereals, who aimed to use it to bring back the Void Lord Demencius. A threat so great that it even forced Xal'atath to set aside her
I don't
goals
know this part.
And
I just played the war with
for
him
a time to stop his rise and the inevitable devouring of all worlds. Now, we have defeated Demencius, at least on story mode, Raid Finder, Normal, and Heroic. I think Echo is actually working on Mythic around 25 minutes from here right now. So is Method and Liquid. But would you believe that upon Demencius' defeat, Xal'atath was not, as it turns out, on our side? And so she claimed the power of the Void Lord Dimensius,
Of course she
ascended
did.
to become one of the most powerful beings the cosmos has ever known. And now,
What is
as
this
we move into
cinematic?
midnight, she is set to launch an assault that will
Ah,
plunge our
okay, it's
world
this
into
cinematic, okay.
darkness, that will
I've seen
extinguish
this.
all light unless we stand against it.
But I don't really look.
All right, well, let's
blood
start
elf.
off talking about our heroes and our foes. So starting off, we've got Turalian, Erator, and Ilaria. We've been following
look how
Ilaria's
good the
journey for a
place
bit
looks.
here. We know about her feelings about Xalatath, and she was right all along. We also have Turalian, her husband, who will be an important part of Midnight
look at the back
as a representative of the light. So at the very end of the cinematic there,
I'm
when
so
we
excited to see
the
how
light
Silvermoon
coming,
looks.
in response to Liadrin's prayer, the army of light has arrived, and so have the players.
Okay,
We
so
also
those people that came out of the Sunwell, those are just human paladins, right? That somehow got there. But who touched her shoulder? Do we know that?
will be called by the light to come and join that battle. Erator, of course, is their child. He also is a paladin, and he is very supportive and understanding of both of his parents. He's trying to understand the void influences that Ilaria is dealing with, as well as the strong call to light that his father has. So
different
he's a little bit in the
from the
middle of the
Warcraft
two.
kids.
So they are very important to our story. And of course, we have Xalatath. Couldn't go very far without Xalatath, our very cool villain. She seems to do whatever she needs to do to achieve whatever her goal is.
Yeah, what is
She's
her
now
goal? Do we know
stated
what her goal is?
She's going to wipe us off the planet. She's going to take Azeroth. She's going to take all the
She's-
power for
she's
herself
using
and bring
Void?
down Midnight. So looking forward to seeing what's happening
I'm
with
going to
Xalatath.
assume that
Wasn't really
there's a
expecting the
Void
army of
Lord
light to show
behind
up there.
everything.
As you could tell, she seemed a little surprised, but she's got plenty of forces and she's very powerful at this point. We also have Liadrin.
a
She
new
is
model.
she's the Blood Knight matriarch. She's obviously a very powerful paladin. She's the one who has
first-
called upon the light to come and
first Blood
save
of
the day.
Paladin.
And she
believe.
is going to be very important to our efforts to push back the void. She does not have a strong liking for the Amani trolls, and that will become important.
But I like them.
We have
on the trolls.
Orwena, who we met back in the War Within. The Heronir, we met a few of them, not a lot. And as you probably know,
Okay,
we'll
now I
be going
remember.
and seeing more about their culture and their race.
You're around in the
Orwena is going to have an
Rubian area.
opportunity to teach us about her people and what they care about, what their interests are, their culture. And she is one of the youngest of her race, actually. She is not an elder. There are elder Heronir.
So where is
Much
that
more
zone
knowledgeable and
located?
wise. She follows the voice of her goddess, and that has taken her into places that we have been able to find her at last. We have Umbric and the Void Elves. This is an opportunity for the Void Elves to really come into their own, having been banished
Isn't
essentially
Xalatath a Void
from
Elf?
Silvermoon and their kin, essentially, because of the void taint that they feel that they have. Umbric is obviously
Whoa.
trying to pull his people together, and he has a lot to contribute to our
He's a
efforts
cool-looking
to
elf.
face off against the void. We have Zuljara and Zul'Jan, grandchildren of Zuljin.
Okay, what happened to the trolls? They got so buffed up. She looks more like an orc. Okay, she had the tusks, so to differentiate.
Zuljara is the chieftain of the Amani. Zul'Jan is her greatest advisor and brother. They are going to be giving us
They
an
look more like
opportunity
orc,
to
honestly.
experience the Amani
Slim
culture,
orcs.
not as enemies this time, but as sort of friends. They too are having slight void problems.
Well, let me double check something. If I look up Zul-Aman, the Burning Crusade, just to look at how the trolls looked back then. Of course, their model were a lot different, but why is the picture so small? Of course, the model is a lot different, but they are kinda buff compared to normal trolls. So maybe that's how they have always looked.
And they need some assistance.
We'll see.
Needless to say, the Blood Elves are uninspired by that request, as they aren't on best of terms. And then we have the Void and the Light, arguably the biggest conflict here between two forces. The Void we have been fighting against, the Light we have been fighting with. But, you know, extremes of either are problematic, as you might imagine. So there will be some issues between the two, and also issues between people that are Void-based, like Void Elves, and the Army of the Light Paladins, for example. So that's another important sort of contrast to watch during Midnight.
Okay.
And now let's look at the really pretty pictures, go into the culture and zones.
Yes, let's see.
So our first culture to talk about is Blood Elves. Those of you that don't play Horde may not know a lot about the Blood Elves. This is your opportunity to rectify that.
Okay.
They were High Elves before adopting the name Sindorai to represent and reflect upon the death
And
of so
before
many
everything,
of
they were
their
trolls.
The Scourge,
Wow, look
did
at
a terrible
this.
number on their home area in Eversong and Ghostlands, and they have been recovering ever since. Their need for...
It's kind of ironic. The Blood Elves look down upon the Sulamani trolls, but Blood Elves are descendants of trolls. So it's like they're hating their ancestors.
For power, their need for energy
Of course,
and
that's,
magical strength.
What, 10,000 years ago?
Known.
Over 10,000 years ago?
They are very, very tied to the Sunwell, which is, of course, exactly what Xalatath is going after. Yeah. Here's some pre-alpha footage for you that we just captured a couple weeks ago.
It could show them
better. I want to point out that there's not a lot of creature spawn.
Hold on. The frame rate is a bit slow on the...
Yet, because, as I said, we're pre-alpha. But it's looking really good. It's exactly like what you might expect from Eversong.
But it looks good.
Eversong and Ghostlands have been combined into a single zone, Quel'Thalas.
Mana Worm.
Because it's a relatively small zone. They were small zones back in Classic. And now with Skyriding, we want it to feel fun to move through them. But as you can see, it's the usual sorts of architecture that you would expect, the lofty glistening towers, the amazing foliage and manicured gardens. And there are
I'm so excited to look at it in a new form.
Some things that have healed. The Dead Scar in particular has totally healed and is no longer there.
Okay. So,
not all parts of the zone, however, have healed up. There are still some areas that look a little bit iffy, this being one of them. So yeah,
you can
essentially...
see the Dead Scar is healing. Oh, that's so cool.
It's the same place you're used to if you're a Blood Elf. If not, here's your opportunity to check it out. Check out the zone. Reimagining it was super fun for us. Artists had a great time.
Yeah, that looks pretty.
Had the opportunity to make it just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and increase the fidelity of the zone. Hope you'll enjoy it. We're going to move on now. And this is Silvermoon City. It is enormous.
Look at this.
That because it's a hub city, there's a small section of
Silvermoon
that's been set
going to be
as a sanctuary area where Horde and Alliance share that space. But the majority of the city is Horde.
Horde logo.
Alliance is kill on site, as you would expect.
It's pretty cool.
Essentially, our world building team had a wonderful time. It's all new assets.
Oh
the city walls are all brand new, all to top fidelity.
I'm so happy for Silvermoon.
Everything has been remade. We've got
you were never in Silvermoon City after you left the starting area.
Any experience here? We have Murder's Row, which you're going to see a dungeon related
maybe a tiny bit during
Quel'Thalas. Overall, it's the same glorious, wonderful Silvermoon you love, but with much better, much more recent fidelity art. And once this stuff gets filled in with our spawning, it's going to look amazing. And yeah, there's a little void storm problem going on. And let's talk about the Amani. because they're the next
Yes, I'm
culture
so
we're going to want
excited
to
for
talk
this
about.
zone. I love
They were
this
previously
raid.
enemies. If you happen to be around and played the raid in Zulaman, then you're familiar with the Amani.
Oh, they do
and,
kind of look too buff, honestly.
Sort of their culture.
They look a
We
lot
had an
more like
opportunity to
orcs and
expand
trolls.
them because we created an entire zone for them now.
If I'm being honest.
They are very proud people. They worked very hard to get their land. They had some important work to do. The Zandalari basically said, well, you can have that land if you defeat this, giant, evil, horrible thing. And so they did that. And they were a great empire for a period of time, but they've fallen sort of into a lesser status now. They've sort of lost their touch with the Loa. They're not as close to them. Being right on the border and having a lot of conflict with the Blood Elves makes this a little tricky for them. They too are having some void
I wonder how
problems.
big that zone is going to be.
This is Zulaman. We've built the entire zone out. You will see the raid space. It still exists. Those of you that did that raid will recognize those buildings, I expect.
Nice.
This is a very old forest, very tall mountains. It's temperate. It
so
rains a fair bit. It's got eagle, lynx,
all the animals.
janalai. It's got dragonhawk, bear, Loa, temples still, but the
Dungeon?
Amani haven't been really worshipping the Loa for a long time.
Okay.
A lot of stuff is overgrown and abandoned.
Wouldn't that be the opposite? But
Zuljara is going
not
to need to find a way to help her
connecting with
people
the Loa?
survive the void
wouldn't
onslaught
everything
that is
just
coming for
wither
them.
instead?
As you can see where the void has come in, it's not looking quite so good. And let's move on to the Heronir. So we met the Heronir early on, and
I remember them
within,
after
but
you
we
mentioned
weren't
that
really sure what they
girl.
were about. We didn't know their story, and we
But
didn't
where
know their
is this zone?
connection,
Is it
really
in the War
to
Within
the rest
area?
of the world. We'd never seen them before. They are ancient guardians of the rootways, and they're led actually by a council of elders. They have a very direct connection with their goddess.
I like that cloak.
And Orwena has a very
Please,
strong
let me
direct
use that cloak like
connection, in
that.
fact, with the goddess, which led her to leave her people and go out into the outside world, something that they don't tend to do and they don't really look kindly upon. So, as you probably have heard, they are unlocked as an allied race. You'll be able to make your very own
I didn't know
Heronir.
that.
We're going to have
Whoa.
a great
That's so cool. The males look badass. The females look... That's pretty cool though. The females kind of look the same. Well, not that one maybe, but... It reminds me of Avatar characters. The Navi.
customizations for them. They look pretty awesome. I have to say, I've seen the druid forms. We weren't able to show those yet. They are really awesome. One of them
they
is
have
a
their own druid forms
pangolin,
as well.
which just looks amazing. They are prone to wearing this bioluminescent paint, and they have different kinds of patterns they can put
Wait,
on
so
their
it will
faces
glow
and
in the
chests.
dark?
So really cool looking, really awesome. Not really elves, not really trolls. Those of you that have kind of seen them previously, played in the War Within,
Yeah,
know
they're sort of
that
a
they take
hybrid.
a bat form when they want to travel. So that's the
Bats.
Heronir and their
Fly away.
customizations. And this is the zone, Herondar. It is a fungal jungle place.
Sort of like
and it
Sangramage.
has all of the roots
But not
of the
blue.
world trees.
Never mind, it's gonna blue.
All converge here. All
Wait, what did
are
you say?
twisted up in this
World tree?
area, this pocket, and it has all of the roots of the world trees all converge
All of the
here,
world trees?
all are twisted up in this area, this pocket
Okay,
area,
that's interesting.
which isn't really directly connected to anything. The people, the Heronir
do they have a
travel
connection
through the
to
rootways
Emerald Dream?
themselves, so they're able to move around the world. One of the interesting things about this zone is it has a place called the Rift of Ulm, and from the Rift of Ulm will issue forth creatures that their goddess dreams. And sometimes they are horrific and horrible things, and some members of the Heronir take an oath, give up their connection to the goddess, and serve as wardens of that place, preventing those horrible creatures from attacking.
So dreams
they
come
also
true?
have this place called the Den of Echoes, which we're looking at now. This is where the Heronir remember their past through paintings, and you will have an opportunity to learn some of those stories by interacting with those paintings.
Yeah, but where is it?
Let's talk a little bit about the Void, since we also have that as a culture.
Yes.
You can see
Whoa.
people you
Height. Okay, I don't know. I don't know feet. Such cool models, though. Ooh, who is that? It's a cool-looking dude.
recognize on one side and people you probably recognize less on the other side. Void creatures in general are very predatory. They are interested in eating anything smaller and weaker
but
than
the Void as a
themselves
zone
and taking
itself?
that power. The Dominar,
I'm
which are sort
kind
of
of
the
worried. I'm not
strongest,
worried, but
are
how are they going to do it?
They are very, very intelligent.
But the Void is... Hold on, I'll find a picture. Wolf aspects world. I don't know what it's called. Not aspects. Wolf worlds. What is it called again? Where you have all the light and dark, depth, void. Here. Let's use this picture, maybe. Yeah, this is a good picture. Reality is where we exist. An Emerald Dream and Shadowlands. Then you have all the elementals: fire, air, decay, earth, water, and spirit. And then you have the Burning Legion, which is Sargeras. Undead. I'm not too familiar with, to be honest. But they're all gods and the Void. Here's the Void. So how are we going to get to the Void? Because before everything, the Titans were around. Or the Titans were born from planets. And they created order. So is Holy a place on its own as well? The same as nature? Because the Burning Legion and Fell. Fell is kind of like what is that planet called that Sargeras corrupted? You went there in Legion, I believe. Arator? No. And when do you guys know? Isn't that where Fell is currently located? Undead? That's sort of Shadowlands. And that... oh my god. The Jailer. It's around here. I assume, but Shadowlands is its own realm where the dead is. So undead is that different from the dead? Because the Void Lords or the Void, the beings of the Void, sent old gods to asteroids or planets, so that I believe so that Titans couldn't destroy it or birth new Titans. So they corrupted the reality. Because we have the element, we have the different elementals. We have Shadowlands. No, not Shadowlands. Firelands. The place we're at in Alakiris. Earth is I don't remember. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure about these stuff. Yeah, this is super interesting, this whole map, because now we are going to the void. Are we going to Holy, to the light in after the midnight maybe?
Very smart. And the Dominar actually have a bit of a hierarchy that they've developed, again, through conquest, through, beating on and dominating others. And you will deal with Dominar as one of the stronger representatives of the Void. Of course, Xal'atath is part of this group.
One of the stronger.
Cultists who follow Xal'atath and follow the Void. We've already seen the Shadow Guard as well. There's even cute little ones, but they will try to eat you, so don't think that they're all that cute.
But why is it friendly shape?
And this is Voidstorm. This is a mysterious world that has been formed by the Void. Everything here is hungry.
Whoa.
Everything will eat you, given
That's
opportunity.
So cool looking, though.
This is all about gaining power, becoming stronger, becoming more powerful, and eating the next thing.
That's what the Void do.
So, essentially, we have a big raid here in Voidstorm.
Ooh.
This is where we will face off against the Void with the Army of Light and attempt to make sense of what's going on here. But there are some gorgeous pictures. I would say the best blues and purples ever, probably.
It kind of looks like the sword, the hilt of the sword that Sargeras used.
Happening right here. But generally speaking, a really, really cool zone.
I'm just gonna say, please. I don't want flying here. Don't use flying here. Make it ground-based only.
But generally speaking, a really, really cool zone to explore. And you can be pretty sure that they're enemies, all of them.
Void portals in the background.
All right. And I'm going to hand off to Ian for delves, dungeons, and raids. Thanks, all.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, all those amazing zones that you just saw, of course, are going to contain delves, dungeons, and raids. And so really, delves are one of our proudest additions to War Within, and they are, of course, here to stay. And so you have 10 new delves coming with Midnight, scattered across these zones.
Okay, I didn't really get into delves that much.
Feedback on what worked and what didn't. And so these are going to have all the same
I just did it while I was leveling up.
And replayability that you knew in the War Within.
Not really
but
after.
More layouts, more enemies that we found work better in this format, and less of those that don't. A couple of these delves are actually going to be outdoor spaces where you can use your ground mounts to get around more easily. And we're really happy to be able to integrate them into the stories of the zones, because now that they're such a proven format, we can really have quests lead you through them.
Okay, so people really liked it. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll check them out.
Of course, in addition to these 10 delves, there is an 11th
Nemesis delve,
where you will track down the Nemesis that has been plaguing you over the course of the first season. And taking the place of Bran Bronzebeard will be a new companion, none other than our good friend Valeera Sanguinar.
Hello, beautiful.
Now, she will aid you in many of the same ways as Bran, and hopefully stand in fewer things that you'd prefer she not stand in. So, dungeons. We have 8 new dungeons coming in Midnight. 4 level up, 4 max level. And again, these...
So, wait. So when you are max level, you won't be able to do this? Is that what he's saying? So when you level up in the new area, you do these 4 as you progress through the zones. But then when you get max level, you have this, and this just stops. Or do you can Magister Terrace? Ooh. Oh, I like that. I wonder how they will redone that. Can we still get the rare mount? The white? Is it white? Stridehawker?
We always try to showcase fun gameplay and innovative looks
Void
at the dungeon format. We'll be returning to Magister's Terrace, which has really been reimagined and expanded from last we saw it. We'll visit some new locations that weren't accessible before, including a balcony overlooking the Sunwell itself. When we go to Murder Row, a corner of Silvermoon, I think for Court of Stars fans back from Legion, There's some of those vibes here, as we're actually going in undercover to investigate rumors of the use of fell magic within the walls of Silvermoon.
What?
And before we know it, we're going to be plunged into combat, and the dungeon will unfold from there. Another favorite is the Void Scar Arena in the Voidstorm. Here, at the whims of one of the Dominar that Maria was just mentioning, combatants from around the universe come together to kind of battle to the death for the pleasure of the Dominar.
Sort of like
and we're going to
Violet
be thrown into that arena as part of this dungeon. And don't worry, especially in Mythic Plus, as waves come at you, you can control the pace of the waves. Of course, we're going to have a mix of 4 of these dungeons, as well as 4 returning fan favorites in the first season of Midnight. But unlike in War Within, all 8 of these dungeons will be available in Mythic 0 during that pre-season
so you can still
period
play
right
these
at launch.
at
Another
max?
fun
Okay.
dungeon that we'll be venturing into is Windrunner Spire, where for those of you, particularly lore fans out there, we're going to get to learn more about the family history and the tragic background of the Windrunner family. This is a wing dungeon with plenty of mysteries to uncover.
I like that a lot.
Now in Midnight, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 separate raid zones that will be rolling out over the course of the first season.
That's cool.
Here you see the Void Spire in the Voidstorm, which is that stronghold of
Going
power
back to the
where we're
roots
gonna
like
need
that
to
in
assault
Burning
Xal'atath.
Crusade.
This is a 6-boss raid. But
Like
alongside it will
Kharasan,
also
Gruul
be
Slayer,
the Dream Rift, a 1-boss raid in Haranar.
Kharasan, Gruul Slayer. What's the third one? Magiteridon's Lair.
Then shortly after that, we'll be able to take the fight back to the Sunwell and the Gates of Silvermoon in the March on Keldanas. So really excited to have different environments, different settings, and really integrate the raids into the stories that we're telling more than ever before.
Normal raids
because
now
with story
in
mode,
retail?
all players can experience these epic moments.
Is it hard?
And we can offer a
It's
wider range
normal,
of
of course,
environments
compared to Mythic
for
and
guilds
Heroic,
to challenge
it's
themselves against.
Of course not going to be
So
that
that
hard.
is a quick look at the world, the
That's-
setting, and
but
what's
that's a
coming
returning
in
player,
Midnight.
for instance.
Thank you, Gamescom.
That's it. Okay. I've been talking a lot there. In the comments below, if you watch this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. Leave a like. It really helps out. And if you want to see more, subscribe. But in the comments below, leave what you want me to watch if I missed something. I'm really interested in the player housing, but I don't know what to watch. All that really I've seen is like there's a 3-hour-long show off or something. I don't understand, where creators are going up against each other to create house. I know that doesn't seem that interesting, to be honest. I'd rather watch the people at Blizzard put out a video showcasing what you can do and what you can get and how to use it and everything, instead of watching creators, honestly. If there's anything I missed, just leave it in the comments below. If you want me to watch anything else from Gamescom that I missed, I haven't put on my channel yet, leave a comment below and I will check it out. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.